Welcome to News Desk. I'm your host, Jason Miller, here with
Heather Wilson.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, Jason.
Glad you could join us today here at News Desk. I think we have an interesting show lined up for you here today. Today we'll be talking about pet extravagance, reality TV, would you want to do it, dating on campus, and the perfect partner. And as always, we'll have our Fashion Minute, our Food Minute, and our Celebrity Love Minute. So, Heather, before we begin, how was your week?
I had a really good week. I mean, it's finals, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but I finished one class already and I have 2 more to go. But other than that, really great week. Spent some time with my fashion designer friend, Rachel Frank. She came up from Chicago, so kept myself very busy. How was your week? Do anything exciting?
You know, it was a quiet weekend. Saw some friends, was with my girlfriend, did different activities. We've started a new sort of hobby of going to open houses on Sundays. I really enjoy it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I want to get into that.
That's great. Well, anyway, let's start with, how about pets?
Pets, all right. Well, last year and this year together, there were over $40 million spent on just pets, and that is the dog itself. Not only the food, but people are buying Gucci purses to put their dog in, and they're buying Gucci collars for their pets, and they're paying a lot of money for their pets and putting them in different daycares and taking them out to different events and dressing them up to look like them. What are your thoughts about all this money being spent on an animal?
Gosh. Well, I suppose, you know, for wealthy people who decided not to have children, they just put the money into pets, but gosh.
I think if you don't have children, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Like, put all your money into the animal and for the love of the animal. Me personally, cats get wet food, cats get dry food. They don't need Gucci collars. I don't need a Gucci cat pendant for my purse, but they're fed.
I guess it's become like an accessory, like a fashion accessory.
Yeah, animals.
No, but for the owner.
It is. It is. Everyone has like a little dog nowadays. If you've seen the celebrity like limelight, everyone's got their own little dog and they're bedazzled.
Well, what was that movie where she wore pink and she went to law
Legally
school?
Blonde. Legally Blonde, yes. Yeah.
Well, that's a good example, right?
That's a really good example because the pup always wears like designer clothing just like she does.
Right.
It looks like in the movie. Fantastic.
Was that what she did? The dog wore matching clothes?
Yeah, it was always wearing pink with her. It was so cute.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Why don't I continue on?
Yes, please.
With the next topic, which is college dating.
Okay.
So we're in a college town here, Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know, what, maybe a fourth of the city is students, college students?
Pretty big city of students.
All right, so here's the questions.
Okay, ask me.
What is the good thing and the bad thing about dating on campus? You know, whether it's a good idea or not.
I guess that's tough to say. I don't necessarily know that it is a good idea if you have like the same social group of friends, because if something goes wrong, you're going to lose a lot of friends, I think, whether you're the man or the female in the relationship. Most people are going to take sides whether they want to or not. It's kind of like who started the friendship with who first. And I think it might be a good idea, though, for people to date just because it's a familiar age bracket and we're kind of all learning at the same time. And otherwise, I really just don't think it's a good idea because of the social situation they're in.
Well, let's see. I could see where there's good and bad. I mean, on the good side, while they're learning their profession, their career, it also gives them a chance on a parallel track to learn social skills, to learn different types of dating partners who might end up being a good life partner.
That's really good.
Well, it's time consuming, but then again, if they don't have a steady boyfriend or girlfriend, they might use up even more time going to bars and parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's probably on balance, I think.
I think so.
A good idea. Now, how does a college student go about finding a boyfriend or girlfriend? What would you recommend is the best way for them to do that?
I think through friends is a really good way to do it, or maybe events on campus. I know sometimes they have like fashion shows or things on campus or different local bands that show up. It's good to meet someone at like a musical event or through friends, or maybe even studying if you're into that kind of love interest.
You know what I think? It might be hard to actually get to know people at something like that. You'd have to approach them and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a good initial like meet and greet to get them on Facebook and then start chatting to them on Facebook.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. but another possibility would be most universities have a lot of clubs.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's definitely.
Like a sailing club, outdoor club, just all these things where you do activities with a smaller group and get to know them.
That's true. That's a really good spot to meet somebody and get to be able to focus on them.
What about fraternities and sororities?
Yeah, I'm not in a fraternity or sorority, but that's probably a really great place to meet someone, only because they throw parties a lot, and that's probably the only way to meet someone through that, I think.
Well, maybe networking too, because you're in a fraternity or sorority with 100 or so people, and they all have friends and whatnot.
Oh yeah, friends of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, meeting through friends, very common.
Okay, let's see next. What about dating somebody in your classroom, one of your courses?
I find like that is almost like unavoidable sometimes, because when you have a love interest, it's hard to kind of like veer away from that. So I think it's a good idea, sort of, to be able to be in a relationship with someone that you can communicate with and maybe do schoolwork together. But it's, again, if it goes sour, they're in your classroom and that's awkward. What are your thoughts?
I guess if it goes bad, I would just sit in the back row.
Yeah, just sit in the back row. That's good.
And hope that she sits somewhere.
Yeah, or just doesn't show up. Hey.
That could be a problem. I could see where sometimes it would be so traumatic that somebody would drop a course.
Yeah, I definitely think that could happen. Or if something happens during like exam week or something, and your mind is focused on the relationship going sour and not your exam. So it's tough to be in love and then trying to be a student.
Yeah, that's hard. All right, and then, well, now how dramatic should this couple be in public, as far as, say, kissing in public?
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think you should relax, kids, and slow it down, because I don't need to see you making out in public. I don't mind like kisses and pecks, but I think some people take it a little too far. I see people like honk honk, squeezing booties like in the middle of the street or like down hallways and stuff. Like, I can live without seeing that. Yeah. I understand that goes on, but like behind closed doors or in your own house, but I think keeping it classy and keeping it, PDA to a minimal. I
think that holds for every age bracket.
I think so, yeah, please.
I agree. It can be very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable.
I agree. All right. Now, what happens if, so a couple forms and it's going great, but one graduates before the other?
Oh, that could be really tough.
How do they keep that relationship? Let's say, it could even be 2 years ahead of time, we'll say, but let's say it's just 1 year. A year in the life of somebody that's 20 or 21, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
Would they be able to keep this up?
I think it's really tough, because both people are going to be experiencing new opportunities, and with new opportunities you meet new people, and people change when they meet new people, and I think it's kind of hard to say that you're still going to love that person just as much with them being far away and not in your life. Every day when they're here, they're with you, but 2 years apart can't even be physically with you. That is kind of hard.
Well, it could be that they're in the same city and he or she is now working and the other one is still in school. So
that's
already
easier.
That's easier. And they could make it work.
Yeah.
But it could be that one moves away because of a job to another city.
Yeah, if one moves away to another city, I think that would be very, very hard.
That's not likely to work.
Yeah, but I think if someone's just working in their job field and they're still in the same city or even state, it could be a lot easier for them to remain in contact, especially with Skype and travel distance. It could be easier.
Well, if they're in the same city, they could actually live together.
They could hang out.
Well, they could have an apartment together.
Yeah.
So that could happen. All right, what else do we have here? What about studying together?
Oh,
is that going to be harm the schoolwork, the studying, or is that going to?
I don't think it's going to harm the schoolwork. I think it might benefit the schoolwork a little bit, even because you're in a good mood and you're excited, and it's fun to learn together and kind of like test each other's boundaries if you're studying, see who has more knowledge than the other. I think it could be really fun and exciting and not hurtful to the schoolwork at all.
All right, so they would they would use that study time as an activity also.
Yes, you're right.
Rather than to go out and do something that's non-study.
Right. This is, I mean, it's saving them money staying inside doing this. It's saving them from maybe going out to the bar, you know, and not being able to get to their studying, and they still get to be together.
That's right. Well, now let's see. What about the expense of dating?
Oh my gosh. Well, in our town, we have a lot of stuff for college students, whether it be discounts or just stuff on campus like dollar bowling or dollar rock climbing or just free music events. So it can be inexpensive. However, I know that there are relationships where people spend a lot of money.
Even here?
Even here. I was taken to the Sybaris once, and that was expensive.
Well, right, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe explain to our viewers what that is.
It's just this little, I mean, it's just a hotel that you go to with your loved one, and you can get like rose petals, and it's just a getaway from your own home sort of thing. It's really nice, but it was expensive.
All right. Hot tubs, water slides.
Yeah, there's like, well, the room I got had like a hot tub and like a water slide and your own bed and
your own swimming pool.
We had our own swimming pool with our own freaking slide. It was so amazing. In your room, it was all in one little package. Sauna was in there.
And a water slide.
Yeah, a water slide.
Oh, that's great.
So nice.
Well, all right, but here's my view. I think that students that are in expensive cities like New York, if they go out, it could be their schools have discount things and whatnot, but odds are if they go out, it's going to be expensive. But here in a college town like Madison, there's so many free things for students.
There is.
Or inexpensive, like you were mentioning, dollar, this and that.
Yeah.
So it actually needn't cost hardly anything. So dating would not be expensive here.
No, we have inexpensive restaurants and stuff too, if that was, you know, up your alley to go eat somewhere with your loved one. But yeah, it's inexpensive if you want it to be. It can be expensive too if you want it to be.
Right, like Five Guys or Noodles. There's so many places.
There really is.
Where you can eat for $5 or $6.
Yeah, both you.
Well,
each one of you are $6, but yes.
All right, great. Well, let's see. Oh. Now, here's the hard one. So let's say you don't have a relationship and you want a boyfriend or girlfriend, and you only have a limited amount of time to find this person. You want to be efficient about it, we'll say. So which departments, which majors would you expect to find the most attractive, girls or boys?
I think for the women, I would just go for anything fashion related. You're probably going to find attractive women in the fashion department, whether it's fashion marketing or the design class or anything that related. The guys, the PE majors. Simple.
Yeah, that's easy.
Simple, right?
Well, there may be other things too, like also maybe teachers.
Teachers.
Elementary ed or secondary ed.
Oh. Is that what kind of love interest you're interested in? Someone in the teaching field?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic, Jason.
Thank you for feeding that to me.
You're very welcome.
Elementary ed would be where I would go.
Yeah.
But no, maybe psychology majors.
Really? I think psych majors could be kind of scary.
Well, looks-wise.
Looks-wise,
as far as attractive. But they may have issues, that's right. Now, what about, as far as guys, what about science majors?
Well, I like a little bit of science. I like a little bit of nerd, but I can't keep up by any means.
No, but as far as attractive. Because you know the TV show
Big Bang
Theory.
Yeah, I guess attractive. It depends, though. I think attractive people are in all sorts of categories and in all sorts of majors at school.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Now, you have one more item, was it?
Well, I could talk about our fashion segment if you'd like to.
Yes, it's time for the Fashion Minute. Okay,
well, today I was on Elle.com checking out their spring fashion trends, kind of because I want to fit in, and I want to look good, and I want to share it with you guys. And today I noticed that there's a lot of cutouts on the runway, and what I mean by that is, just let me show you really quick, is here on my side I have a small cutout, and it does have a sheer fabric here, but a lot of the time they're just cutting it and exposing the skin, whether it's up on the top, the full chest. I have a whole shirt that is literally cut out in the entire square. You have to wear a bandeau top or a bra under it or you're naked. It's very crazy. And, you know, cut out in the hips. Anything sexy and showing the skin is what the runway was showing. And some of my favorite looks were, of course, by Versace, Jason Yu, and Sass and Bide, as well as many, many others. My favorite look on the runway was by Just Cavalli, and it was a sweater that was done really tastefully, and it was ombre, and it was white to blue, and it had cutouts throughout the whole chest, and it had 2 amazing large cutouts on the sleeve. It's perfect for like campfire events and everything. It was just beautiful.
So these are casual clothes?
Not all the time, like dresses and stuff. They're not casual by like any means, but yeah, there were sweaters and stuff that kept it real classy, real casual. Some were even summer dresses, which are a little bit more casual, but some of them were very, just runway pieces meant for that. And
now for winter, I suppose you still could wear the same kind of dresses.
Yeah.
You would just wear leggings?
Yeah, we would just wear leggings under it or throw a nice jacket on over it or an oversized sweater so that just the skirt portion of the dress was hanging out. So you had an oversized sweater skirt sort of combo that you could, you know, reveal a dress under later throughout a party. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Sounds very good. Now what about the food minute?
Oh, well, our food minute today is about something that I made over the weekend. I went to my cousin's daughter's 4th birthday / pool party. So I made these little Jell-O cups, and they're called Teddy Graham Pool Party Jell-O cups. And you just fill the cups full of blue Jell-O, and you put in little lifesavers, like the candy lifesavers, and you put Teddy Grahams on top of them, so it looks like they're swimming in little flotation devices at a pool or at a beach, and they're adorable. You don't have to like Jell-O to do this. You can make it into a cupcake and use blue frosting and add bears that way, or you can make it into a cake that, like I said, no Jell-O, or you can cut a square out and put the pool in there with Jell-O. There's many different options. It's not a creative idea I came up with myself. I Googled the idea. So
sounds cute.
It is really cute. There's candies you can make for beach towels so it looks like they're laying out bathing in the sun. It's unreal.
Well, that sounds great. And now our celebrity love minutes.
Guess what happened on April 30th, Jason?
What?
They shut down Disneyland so that Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon could renew their vows.
No.
Yes.
The whole park?
The whole park was shut down.
Everybody was booted out.
Everybody. No one was allowed to come in except for guests that were invited, family that were invited. So, and she got to walk down the aisle up to Sleeping Beauty's castle. The celebration also was for their twins who celebrated their 2nd birthday. So Mariah Carey was so excited she just couldn't get off Twitter. She was just kept tweeting about how excited and happy she was.
That's amazing that Disney does that.
I know. I believe I read that they've been doing it since 2008, that they've been closing the park down for people that would like to, you know, renew their vows or actually even get married there. And that's exciting, but also, you know, I'm sure they have to pay a pretty penny for maybe what the park was going to make that day.
Well, no, but maybe what they do is they set up time slots for before the park opens. Maybe they do it like that.
I wonder, because it was really dark during their wedding, but it also, you want that because then the castles light up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She got to ride in the carriage, you know, the pretty princess carriage.
Or maybe they do it after closing.
That could be it too.
Yeah.
But it said it shut down the whole park, so I'm assuming they literally shut down the whole park, you know? So during hours it was supposed to be open.
Wow, amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
They must be so wealthy.
They must be doing pretty well for themselves.
Yes. Anybody else?
Getting married, no, but I just do kind of want to send some happy, sweet love to some of my favorite couples out there, my celebrity couples. Kristen Wiig, former SNL cast member, is with Fabrizio Moretti, and he is the drummer of The Strokes. Really beautiful couple. Keep going strong. Also,
she's funny.
She's hilarious.
Oh, she's great.
She is one of my favorites. I'm sad she's not on SNL anymore, but
does she have a show?
She was on SNL.
Right,
but now she's doing movies and other things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's doing really well for herself.
That's great.
I know. And then the other couple I really am wishing good things for. They were both casted in The Amazing Spider-Man this year, and it was Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. They're so cute. Have you seen The Amazing Spider-Man?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
They have like a love interest in the movie, and
Emma
they
Stone's
continue.
great, though.
Yeah, she's hilarious, and she can do no harm. I've loved everything I've seen her in since day one.
Yeah.
Love her. So I'm just wishing you guys the best.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
That's great. All right. Well, what else do we have here? We have Reality TV.
Oh,
What's
yes.
the story there?
Reality TV. Well, there's a lot of reality TV out there, but I think if I was going to do reality TV, it would be like a real world situation. If you've seen that, it's a bunch of younger people, I guess, between the teens and the 20s, go on the show and live in a house together. And they're from all over the country, and they live in a house together, and you know they pick them specifically to find love interest and specifically for good
or for controversy, maybe.
Yeah, for controversy. You know that they do, that they pick those people. But I think that would be one that I would do rather than like the Bad Girls Club or these dating shows that are out there. I think the real would be a good fit for me.
It's supposed to be actors, really. It's not reality.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is a lot of staged.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Sometimes it can be a good watch, though.
You think so?
Yeah. Would you do reality TV, Jason?
I would, depending on what it is and what was involved. But I think it could be fun. It's edited anyway.
It's edited, right.
So if anything's too bad or heck, if it's embarrassing, maybe that's what would be on.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to make on the show. Anything embarrassing, anything sassy you may slip out of your mouth, that's what they'll air.
Ratings. All right, well, that brings us to, now we did college dating.
Yes, we did.
But what about the perfect relationship, the perfect partner? This is for people beyond college age.
Okay.
So here's your questions. Do you think it's true or false that opposites attract?
Whew, that's tough. I think yes to a certain extent, only for short term. Because long term, if we are so opposite, and it's going to be annoying, I think. Like, I want to do this, or I enjoy this, and that person just can't compromise with you because they're literally opposite. They don't enjoy those things. So I think for a while it could be really fun, but after that, it's just going to be kind of a hard thing to deal with for both people.
You know, that saying, I wonder when it came on the scene, that saying of opposites attract.
Yeah.
I wonder what they were referring to, because it would seem like it works great for one-night stands.
Yeah, or in the movies.
Yeah.
It's good for movies.
Yeah, you're right. Otherwise it'd be a boring movie.
Yeah.
But for a one-night stand, you know, that particular Saturday night, you feel like someone who's nerdy and wears glasses. And then after you've done that, the next week, maybe you feel like somebody who's dressed like a pole dancer.
That's totally true. That happens. Your mind changes.
So that could, but for long-term relationship, it would seem to be opposites do not attract.
That's what I think.
That do not stay together.
That do not stay together, right.
Because if you like doing the same things and your personalities are similar and you like the same lifestyle, it would seem like that could be very long-term.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful for both of you. You could do things together and not be at each other's throat begging them to do things with you.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Oh, I can't.
Well, not just doing things, but also, I don't know, the choice of what crowd to be friends with.
Yeah, or their living choice, how they, you know, maybe how they keep up house or anything like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe one wants to live downtown in a condo and do all the activities of downtown, and another wants a big lawn out in the suburbs. So how do you compromise those things?
It's hard to do that. Yeah, that's tough.
Okay. Now, what about appearance? Is that important?
I think yes, it is important. I think it's initially important. I definitely prefer someone who's taller than I am, that is attractive. And it depends. I guess it's a situational thing too. What I find attractive in a man is always different, because I could find a very attractive man and finally meet them and understand their personality and then just turn around because they are just bad news or just really unintelligent or something like that. So it looks matter like initially, and I think then you have to learn who they are.
I think that's probably typical. I think for most people, they will select from a group of attractive people that they're attracted to, and then see the other aspects of them, their personality and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree.
See if it meshes.
Yeah, see if it's a good match for them. Yeah.
Exactly. So the appearance of your perfect partner, what would that be, besides tall?
Tall. I really like a good smile and eyes. I don't like facial hair, so get real. Just get rid of that facial hair. I don't really love like a hairy man either, but it doesn't have to be like super muscular either. But just clean shaven, good smile. tall, we're good.
So that reality show, Swamp, what's the rest of that?
Is it Swamp People?
Swamp People.
Swamp People.
So those guys with those beards, that would not work.
No, but they would be really fun to hang out with.
I guess so. All right, let's see what else. What type of job or profession would you want your perfect partner to have?
I think something that I'm doing as well. So something that's sort of on the same page, whether, I don't want someone that's behind the scenes. I don't like to be behind the scenes. I'm very energetic and outgoing and want to meet people. So I don't want someone who doesn't want to live that kind of life. So maybe someone who's doing, music or producing or, does some sort of acting or behind the scenes work with like a television program. I think just someone in the same business interest I'm in. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult, I think.
I see. Well, for me, I'm partial to elementary school teachers.
That he is.
I think they're the greatest. Someone around 5'8" or so.
All right.
Just
the lucky
perfect.
one.
So let's see here. What about the personality?
Personality has to be really fun, really nice, really caring, into me, but not too into me, and not into themselves either. I met this guy who thought that he looked like Christian Bale. So he thought he was like the best thing ever, and that I didn't deserve someone that looked like him because he looked like Christian Bale.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so those kind of people that are egotistical, no thank you. But if you're funny and charming and you're interested in me and not too interested in yourself, we can work.
All right, I like that. For me, sweet, nice, kind, spiritual, and a good sense of humor, which is hard to find.
It is hard to find.
Everyone thinks they have a good sense of humor.
I know that for sure.
But it's very hard to find somebody that's really got wit.
Yeah, and they have to kind of match yours too. Like I'm kind of all over the place, anything goes. So if I'm open to all sorts of type of humor. Some people are offended by certain things, but.
You mean slapstick? You're into that too?
Slapstick? Tell me slapstick. Explain.
Oh, but they trip.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Actually, it can be kind of funny sometimes.
It is. Well, I trip all the time, so it's funny.
Well, let's see. What about kissing? How important is kissing?
Really important. If you're a bad kisser, I don't think you're going to ever learn to be a good kisser. Oh, Isn't it something you're born with?
No,
I mean, maybe,
it's a skill. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Can be learned with a patient teacher.
Okay, maybe, but I am not patient. So if you don't do it right the first time, no.
All right, but long term in a long relationship.
It's important to kiss your the person you're in a relationship with, but again, you have to be good at it first.
I see.
I mean, would you start dating someone that you felt like was a really bad kisser? Would you be excited to see them again and be like, can't wait to kiss that one tonight?
Well, that is a good question.
I know.
Because my girlfriend's a good kisser, so
go girlfriend.
I haven't really.
You haven't had that experience.
Well, not in a long time.
In a while, yeah.
And but I don't know. There's so many things that are part of the relationship that. I could be flexible if it wasn't.
Yeah.
She's good, so it doesn't really come up. But in a hypothetical case, okay. there would be other things that are important.
Important that would be able to slide if it was an issue. Okay.
Yeah. Well, now let's see here. Now, what do you think about marrying somebody? As far as social status, do you think it's important that the two of you be on the same social status? I should say social strata.
Social strata. I mean, I think for the relationship and in a long term, it almost has to be. I think people are so insecure, whether they show it or not, that is eventually going to come up in subject that, maybe you're not making enough money as the other person or something like that. And it can be really uncomfortable if you feel like you want to be the breadwinner and you're not. And I mean, it depends too, like some people, like I said, want to live in the limelight and some people don't. So being in a relationship with someone like that can be really hard.
Well, I'm thinking of, they come from a certain lifestyle and their extended family and their friends they grew up with and whatnot may be totally different than what the other person may have grown up with. For example, you maybe came from a strata that most people have college degrees and live middle-class lifestyles or above. And maybe you meet somebody who maybe was on the other side of town, blue collar,
Yeah.
and their friends and family have a different lifestyle, so maybe that would be a problem. And he maybe just wouldn't enjoy his friends, or maybe he wouldn't enjoy your friends, whatever.
Yeah, and I think like initially meeting it could be fine, and then you start to learn, you know, maybe their background or what they're interested in. Like you said, what if he doesn't want to get to know your friends because you have snoopy friends to him, or you know whatever he may like deem them to be. So yeah, I think it can be really difficult.
Or you may feel embarrassed.
Yeah,
have him then with your friends.
Mm-hmm. Some people could be very embarrassed if your partner isn't up to par, shall I say, to where you are. Yeah, and that would be so sad.
Yeah, you'd see your girlfriends, you get together for lunch, talk about your relationships, and they give you this look like, oh, you poor thing.
You poor, yeah, you know, it'd just be, oh my gosh.
That would be hard. So it probably wouldn't work long term.
No, I don't think so.
What about traditional values? Now, what do you think about that? Are you pro or con those, as far as living that lifestyle in marriage with your partner?
Well, I personally want to be independent, and I want to have my own job and all this stuff, and I don't want to be a housewife, but then again, there is something really nice about just being home and being able to do your own hobbies and your own enjoyment. So I think like our traditional sense, but with like a leniency where like if I want to go do something, he says, go ahead, it's fine. But if I want to work, I can work, which is something I do want to do right now. But if I want to take, you know, a year off to go travel or pursue photography or whatever it may be, he would allow it.
So a traditional man who's flexible.
Yeah, a traditional man who's flexible, is exactly.
Would be ideal.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that way, when you say, hey, I want to take 6 months off, he's great. His attitude is, that's great.
That's perfect.
And then when you want to go back to work, he's fine with that too.
Yeah.
But if it's a non-traditional husband, you say, hey, I want to take 6 months off, he may say, hey, I'm working.
Yeah,
I'm bringing in money. You work too.
I mean, I could make it work, but I prefer that if I would like some time off.
Right.
Like that's the ideal.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be nice? Would you like that too? Like reverse?
Sure.
I'll take it.
Sure, I think that's great. Also, if you have children, it is probably nice for certain periods of time to not have to do work and
I think
the
so.
children.
Yeah, it would be nice to just have a little break if you're going to have children. To, you know, first of all, just be with them in their younger ages and take some time off, maybe, you know, during the summer with them too.
Sure.
It would be fun.
Yeah, to have the flexibility, I think.
Yeah, flexibility would be great.
All right, now the last thing is, now that we've got all that down,
oh yeah,
where to find this special, wonderful person?
Where to find them? Oh my goodness. Well, I know that a lot of people are going to the internet. That's not where I would find my special person. I think I'm going to probably find the perfect person through a group of friends, through things I do. I don't think that the internet is exactly the way to go, but a lot of people are going that way.
It's very popular.
It's easy. It's so easy. You can just get on there and say, hi, how are you doing? Would you like to meet for coffee or whatever, and exchange emails, and then boom, you're meeting.
Well, but through friends or work, I suppose. But
work, yeah.
But in your case, for work, you're not likely to find that many men.
No, I used to work at this little tiny flower shop, and it was just women that worked there.
Well, I'm thinking of the modeling.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if I want to, like, make a model boyfriend.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it?
I think so. I would probably be sad a lot, because I'd be worried.
That he would be...
I would be worried that he was out doing things that he should not be doing. Yes, I don't think I can.
Not that he would want to, but he would be getting offers.
Right, it's not that he would like want to, but the offers would be there, and it's really sometimes hard to like say no to an offer when it's like right there and I'm not there.
He walked by a group of women.
Right.
They'd go, oh my gosh, look at him. And they go over and they flirt. And
Scary.
Yeah, that could happen. And you'd run into the other problem you mentioned before, egotistical.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, and I can't handle that.
Whoever he is, may be humble.
Yeah.
But he may go to his head.
Yeah, and I can't. That's too much. Because I'm not that kind of person, so I think when I see that in someone else, it's kind of like, ugh, back
That's
away.
hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Well, I am out of questions.
Fantastic.
And I think we're near the end of the show.
I think so. We've done it for the day.
So would you like to close this up?
I sure would.
Okay.
Join us next week for more fun topics, and be sure to find us on KSUN Sun Prairie, Fact TV in Fitchburg, WYOU Madison, and find us on our YouTube channel at NewsDesk WYOU, no spaces. I'm Heather Wilson.
I'm Jason Miller.
saying thanks for now.